There are two roads I think any 18-year boy or girl takes every time, and that's a crossroad. That's a dilemma that everybody faces. That's the phase wherein you either look after that glamorous thing, you are caught up behind those uh, folks, girls or boys or chaps who probably would want to take the road which would mean that they are going towards that glamour, show off, and everything. And they probably would indulge into all those wrong deeds, as we term it in the Indian terminology. The other road is the one that is, I think, the less taken one, because nobody actually guides you about what is good or what is bad, right? And
Mm.
it is at that stage where your parents also set you free in the world, because they also know that if you keep them protected now, they would not be able to take up the challenges of life in future. So that's a
Mm.
very dicey situation, a dicey age, a dicey stage in everybody's life, wherein they are trying to figure out how do they fit into the nitty gritty of the world, how do they fit into the complexity of the modern world. And the point that I'm trying to tell you right now is that there is a time in your life where you would want to take up some kind of a challenge, where you will want to challenge your own self and see how much you can push your own limits, right? And when you decide doing that, there is just one thing that you need, and that is somebody who has already done that, or somebody or someone who has already been through that, who can hold your hand, who can hold your finger, or who can just guide you a little bit and can put you on the right track so that you don't lose your vision. And that is where I realized that more than anything else in life, how important it is for us to choose the right mentors, and how important it is for us to look up to the right people. How do we decide who we look up to? How do we decide who we actually seek guidance from? No amount of knowledge or no amount of skill can replace the practical experience that you can get from somebody there who has already been there, as I already talked about. How are the little students of 18, 19, 20, 21 years of age, how are they thinking, how are they perceiving the world? All my mentors all throughout my life, they have just proven one fact for me, that it is very important for us to understand that it is just one moment, and a few sincere words coming from somebody, they can make a huge impact in somebody's life.
You spoke about people who are from the generation who are like 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, where we are transitioning from one space, one domain, one zone of our life to a very different domain. We're becoming adults and we're gaining more control of our decisions, our life, and the decisions that we take at that point of time have a large impact on how
Right.
our life will shape up in the future, or it seems so at that point of time, which brings in a lot of pressure on parents and a lot of pressure on their child as well, on the kids at that age as well. This confusion is normal. Everybody is confused at that age, so you're not going through something that nobody else is going through and you're like, ये मेरी अकेले की जर्नी है. जो लोग आपको sorted भी लग रहे हैं ना, you should feel like, yeah, he's 18 and he's sorted. Trust me, inside their head they're going through a lot of confusion. After you accept that confusion, it's important to move to that space of clarity, and that is where, as Vikram said, mentors come into picture. So find someone who has already taken the journey forward and take help from them. Now you talk to Gen Z, right? You talk to people who are 18 to 24, and when you talk to them, there are questions that they have, there are challenges that they are facing. What would those top three challenges be that you come across when you talk to these people, and how do you help them? What is your advice to them on these three challenges?
So the first is pretty normal. That's how to make the most effective resume, not have the last minute interview jitters, and eventually what roles or jobs to prepare for and apply for. Because that clarity, I think most of the people lack. The second question that mostly people ask for is that they look for if the approach that they're currently following, is it
Hmm.
correct or right? Are they even on the right track? Or do they need to go back to the drawing board and figure out where they're headed to? And I
Hmm.
think this is very important. This is not for 18 years, 24, 25. I still do it.
Hmm.
I still do
Hmm.
it. There is a point in your time, in your life, every time, wherein you'll have to take a sheet of paper, you'll have to eliminate all the noise, and you'll have to sit back and relax and see where you're headed to. because losing track of the vision because of the situations, because of the problems, because of the distractions in life at any stage, I think this is one of those aspects that we need to constantly look for. And then the third is, this is my favorite, and because this is the question that I also am looking an answer for right now: how to be successful in what they do in their jobs, and how to leave a lasting impression. And I think, Prashant, this is something that we expect our leaders also to talk about, because there is cutthroat competition, right? You realize that there are the demand supply in terms of the jobs right now, and in terms of the availability of jobs right now, that is completely disturbed. You open a position and you see loads of applications pouring in. How do you go forward and you establish that competitive advantage over all the other candidates, or all the other people, or all the peers that are there in the company? All these questions that I have been trying to answer, they are not just related to one particular age group.